this shit the fuck up. Let's go, look. I stack dollars, players and Chevys and Monte Carlos, moving big weight by the carload. First you get the money, the power, then the bitches follow. Got a burner on my waist and it's still with hollows. You know the motto, swing it out the bottle. Got a couple model chicks and they love to swallow. Fill up my cup right quick, that's macchiato. And I don't care if you black, white, or eating tacos. I put that on my Tata Andres Delgado. Fuck around and end up in a cup of caldo. I let the 9 blow, running from the 5-0. Pistol on my side, so if you trip, you get your mind blown. I'm from the city where them winos run up to your side though. Empty out a clip and watch it die slow. Hitting the preacher, read the Bible. At your wake in the mistakes for trying to take the cake that I won't. Beauty belong. Music the cure, cause when I'm spitting on this microphone, there's never a flaw, yeah, never a flaw, never a flaw, cause when I'm spitting on the microphone, there's never a flaw,
Yeah, no word of a lie, LDG. Every time I hear that, it gets me bumping, boy. That track is fire. Shout out to the guy that did it. I can't remember his name right now, but every time it claims me, I do a content claim and he releases it all the time. So shout out to him, man. But what's up, guys? We are here for another episode of the OOC. Roberto, JG, special guest T-Virus Terrence is in the house with us tonight. Roberto, tell the people where they can find you, sir.
Right here Wednesday night with my boys, them Big Afford Entertainment, JG Shaolin, and our special guest T-Virus, getting shit off our chest like we do live.
That is correct. T, where can they find you, sir?
Hey, what's going on, humans? Terrence here. You can find me on World's Finest Team Up with my friend Sean Stackhouse. We got a couple of videos coming out over the next couple of days, and there are 60 videos that I scheduled for November with another 20 that are completed that I still have to upload, and I will jump on that as soon as possible.
Absolutely, absolutely. And yeah, LGG said, damn, that's still one fire intro. You're talking about the one you made? That is correct. We still use that until today. You know what I mean? So, but hey, it may need an update soon, LDG. I'm just saying, it's been like almost 5 years I've been using that intro. Might need a little bit of an update. You know what I'm saying? Just saying. JG, what's that? You know what I mean, Roberto? Might need a little bit of an update. But JG,
he was the man. LDG was the man. He made intro for me, you,
everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. The whole Chaos Central stuff and every single intro that he did was fire. So, you know, always respect to that for sure, 100%. JG, you know what to do. Oh, shit, I removed him. My bad. You know what to do, JG.
Yo, JG Shaolin, terrific, the undefeated, undisputed final boss of the 36 Chambers of Shaolin. Wee! Shout out to Jim Kelly, martial artist, film actor, black guy for those who didn't know. Yo, welcome to this Wednesday edition of the OOC with the host Nzo, aka the Abbott, the Osiris of the the Spliff King, the Professor of Ganja, alongside his co-host Roberto, aka Mr. 100, aka No Trouble Did, everything gonna be Irie. No woman, no cry. And I gotta get this man a shout out because he's always in the chat, saluting everybody. He comes on here doing his thing. Yo, this is Jim Kelly's apprentice himself, the man with the iron fists, Terrence, aka T Virus.
We're really gonna have to do something about you in these intros, bro. Like me and Roberto are gonna need a little bit more when you talk about us. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? Like,
I tried to add in a blackest way. He ain't like that. I tried to add in something to Roberto. We just laughed through it. So I don't know what to do.
Yeah, but you add the blackest one also. You know what I mean? Like, hey, what the fuck am I doing?
Wait, hold on. What do you add
next week?
Captain, you're Captain CPT. Yeah, that's it, Roberto.
Okay, next week, new intros. Next week.
Nice. I'm surprised I remember mine.
You know?
I tell you, I give myself a high five every time I get it right.
Hey, when you get up there that age, Roberto, I give a high five anytime I remember
what I'm
anything.
saying?
To be honest
Every
with
day
you,
is a high five.
Wait, what do you mean
facts.
at that? What do you mean at that age? You guys are still young. Yeah?
Here we go.
We appreciate it. We appreciate it, T. But no, we ain't. We ain't young anymore. You know what I mean? Trust me, we ain't young
I'm
anymore.
just living the young life, you know?
Facts, facts, facts. Because when we wake up in the morning, we realize we live in the old life. You know, we faking that funk, homie. But got a good joke for you. Got a few jokes for you. We're gonna start off with this one here, and we're gonna reset it and watch this.
This for you, Danny.
Lord have mercy.
Somebody prayed for Pastor and he fell into temptation line.
Yep. Hey,
Now, it is an AI JG because I seen the Sora thing on there,
Yeah.
but it's still funny. It's still funny. It's still fun. All right, got another one for you guys.
I get it done.
Hold on. So it says, light as a rock, not on her feet.
I get exotic with the melodic tune. I get hypnotic with the moon, but you got
Ooh-wee.
damn.
For some reason, I'm like, the drum is doing that, but you.
The one on the stairs was a lot better, but oh my god, that was funny.
Dang. I was not expecting it. I lost my balance watching it.
Now, we all stream, right? We all
Yep.
stream, you know, we streamers, we've been on camera.
Yes,
Hold on.
Officer Jackson, badge number 3919, out of the 12th precinct.
No, it's got
All right.
What
Today,
happened?
Look how they looking.
you got some pants on, officer?
Sir, they're in the. No, sir.
Officer Jackson, okay, Miss Lee.
Wait, what the fuck? Wait, what? So the dick was hanging out, or what? What the hell
I
was
want to
happening?
look. I didn't want to
I
look at that
wasn't-
hard, Terrence, but
Me either.
I can tell you had pants on.
Damn.
He did not have pants on. Now, you guys all know about the NBA stuff that's going on, right? There's a scandal going on. Listen to this bullshit. Hold on. Wait, the video come up. Come on, video.
Harry
Oh, shit.
about the performance of.
All right, here, watch this.
The indictment details specific examples where the defendants profited from illegal gambling and illegal betting on various NBA games, about the performance of players on, among other things, the Charlotte Hornets, the Portland Trail Blazers, the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Toronto Rangers. Each defendant in the NBA basket where the defendants profited.
Who the fuck are the Toronto Rangers?
I don't know.
I guess
Wait,
the Raptors are off the hook.
You know? The Toronto Rangers. Yo, we are NBA champions, bro. Put some fucking respect on Toronto's name. What are we talking about here? But like Roberto said, hey, if you want to charge the Toronto Rangers, go right ahead.
We showed that video of Reagan. You guys want to just trash everything Canadian now?
Facts.
So fucking petty.
And you know what? Let me say this too, because I'm glad you brought that up. We didn't really talk about it, but because I know it's Canadian stuff and we don't really do the Canadian stuff over here. We only bash Americans, right? We understand that, right? But I got to say this. I don't know what the fuck happened to our nut sacks, but when this tariff shit started, it was like, yeah, we're going to put tariffs on Trump and blah, 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 and all. And then they got rid of it and never fucking put them back again. I'm like, what? Are we bowing down to this guy now? Like, are we not, like, fucking put some tariffs back on them if they want to continue to put Trump put 10% more just because of that ad, right? He got butt hurt with the ad and put 10% more tariffs on Canada, and we ain't doing nothing to retaliate back.
Well, Nzo, you know politics, man. It's business and it's entertainment. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Business and entertainment. You know, people, they'll say one thing and do something behind closed doors. Maybe Canada will come back to. Maybe they're trying to talk amongst it. I don't know.
The thing is, before he got elected, that was his tough talk, right? That's what we were saying. Yes, we need someone that's gonna
he in there now.
Yeah, he in there now. And now it's like freaking
welcome to America, my brother. That's what we deal with every year. We deal with every 4 years. We deal with the same crap every 4 years. Say one thing so they get in there. Well, I'm in here now. What you gonna do about it?
Yep. What up, geeky guy? He said the tariffs are gonna hurt him more than Canada, anyways. Yeah, but we need to at least retaliate with some shit. With everyone boycotting U.S. products, anyways, tariffs seem pointless.
I think retaliations are coming because he's trying to solidify some deals with Europe and China and all kinds of other people. And I feel once those deals are solidified, then we could say, hey, okay, now we're going to do this. But till then, I guess he's just trying to play it smart.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just speculating, I ain't no politician, I know these guys always talk shit till they get in the seat.
And then when they get in the seat, they fold like a rabbit, bro.
Oh, shit, did I say that?
You know what I mean? Like,
you do that? Oh, what was I thinking?
So even though, JG, like, we trash America and shit, it's the same fucking thing here.
Oh, I
same thing here. Promises
made,
promises on this. Was that?
I was asking my wife the other day.
Yeah, go ahead.
What part of the world is the government actually for the people?
Good point.
She said that I believe Switzerland. But fuck, there's more than one. There's more than one country in the world, man.
And even with that, like, right? It's like, yeah, we could say, but we don't live there to know if it's really the case, right? We don't know if it's really like that. Because I'm with you, I don't think they give a shit about any of us, like any government organization. Why would they? As long as we're paying our taxes.
Bullshit.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I agree with you 100%.
So the thing is, when it comes to these governments, I've been telling humans for the better part of 20 years that governments are designed to control and brainwash. They do not care about the humans. They never have. But a lot of humans appointed these individuals to these positions hoping that their prayers would be answered at night. But it turns out that humans are not gods, and they do not care, and they will use any opportunity to fuck you over while claiming to be your best friend.
Facts. 100%. And now we got one more before we get into this topic. I want you guys to listen to this. Let's start it over. It says they tried to gentrify this solo, but it failed.
Bless his heart.
Come on in, ladies. Want to roll this with these guys?
It's not play Powerball.
Now, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And you want to know what's funny, right? Because I was like, what song is that from? I don't know. So I Shazammed it, right? The first part played, Shazam said nothing found. I played the second part, and they found the song right away. I was like, oh, wow. wow.
You know, I'm going to quote, sit and pour there and guess who's coming to dinner?
Mm-hmm.
when he said, "You can do the Watusi, but we are the Watusi."
Facts.
I'm not sure what I just watched and heard, but yeah, sometimes in life you gotta walk away and keep walking.
You know, it is what it is. And it is, like I said, man, we talked about it many times before. You know, I think we as Black people have this culture and this way about us that, you know, they try to take from us all the time, but it can never be duplicated. Never.
Nope.
It could just never be duplicated.
Nope. Just I mean, I gave humans some examples of this before, Anzo, and I used the idea of like, okay, when you look at Scary Movie 1 and 2, when the Wayans brothers were present versus
Mm-hmm.
when they were not, there's a
Mm-hmm.
huge difference.
Facts. 100%. Yeah, 100%. 100%. The home country plays the tariffs on U.S. products drives inflation. Taking them off of custom complaints items that was right choice for Canada. I got you. Yes, it my ears. Why Anzo? Why? Yeah. Well, I had to show the difference, right? You hear the first one how it was bad, and then the second one they came in and did their thing. That's how it goes. You know what I'm saying? But we are here to talk about our first topic today is how immigration affects the population, and I will let Roberto talk. Go ahead, Roberto.
I was gonna say, who the hell's Loberto?
He showed this.
Roberto. My bad.
Looks like an L in that picture. I don't know if they can see this picture.
Listen, man, it happens sometimes. All right, I slur my speech every now and then. So, yeah.
Depends on the chronic you smoked, right?
Facts. You know what? Nah, we're not blaming it on the chronic, Roberto. We ain't do that no more. You know what I'm saying?
I was just testing you.
Go ahead.
You know what's happening here. I'm hoping you know what's happening here, Anzo. With immigration, isn't that our top?
Yeah, but no, I don't know. Like, what do you mean? What's happening?
You'll notice the population changing a bit. You take the metro.
Oh, yeah.
You'll notice the population changing down there a bit.
I don't know. I wouldn't say changing. I mean, I kind of see the same people every day, so it's like, you know what I mean?
To be honest, I am seeing less and less French people every day, and we're in Quebec.
I can give you that.
They're supposed to be predominant, right? And being that said, you know, I'm not discriminated on who's coming in because, you know, if you really look at it, we all came in.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's coming into an extent where the city can't really cope with the number of people that are here, and it's affecting traffic and the fact that our city, you all right, brother? The fact that our city is under 24/7 construction. I don't know if we have any locals in our chat, but the frustration, and I've said it before, of driving is only intensifying. The accidents that I'm seeing are mind-boggling. The way I see people drive, I want to visit other parts of the world and see if that's the way they drive over there, because I want to know what the fuck is going on. You're on mute, Anzo.
No, I feel you 100%. JG, what are your thoughts?
Oh, on how it affects population?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it really depends on where you are, right?
I was gonna say, how is it by you? Like, do you feel like you're noticing a lot of immigrants in your city?
When Trump first announced it, bro, I would, because every morning I go to the park, right? Try to get my 4 miles in, and I would notice a lot of Latin people there. Now I might see one, right? If I'm driving around, you see them doing construction, right? I hardly see any.
Yeah, they hiring,
right? They
bro.
working on the roads. You work on the roads. Like, I see more brothers out there now than like I used to back when I was younger, as opposed to Latino. I just see brothers and white guys out there now. Even when you go to gas station on lunch, no one wants to serve food and stuff like that. Well, I know about Canada, but I know Terrence, you would know about it. Lunchtime, you always see the guys working on the streets, road work, construction that would come in for lunch and stuff. A lot of Latinos in there. Now I don't see any. I might see one or two. But what I have noticed, a lot of Asians populated the area.
Because I don't think ICE is going after Asians.
They are. They just well.
Oh yeah, they are.
I don't know what. I guess it depends on where. It depends on where.
They're going after black people too.
Yeah, they're going after black people too. They're going after everybody. I think the whole because there's
define everybody.
Well, because blacks mean our diaspora. You gotta remember about the black diaspora. It's so big that when we say black, it could be Haitians, Jamaicans.
But no, but I think what Roberto's getting at is you don't see them going after white people.
Well, show me one video.
Oh yeah, because the white people. Yeah, that's yeah.
I think that's where he's going with that one, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
But I have seen on video anyway, Asians, Latinos, blacks, of course, but I don't think I've seen any whites at all.
Zero. I'm yet to see one. And if he spoke Spanish. That's why they tackled him.
He said you speak good, man. I gotta pick you up.
You know, but yeah. So Terrence, what are your thoughts?
I live in Cali, so every time I go outside, I constantly see a bunch of humans walking their dogs, walking the babies, you name it, just humans everywhere. You know, you got to say, excuse me, every 3 seconds. And I constantly see a lot of Hispanic humans in my area. It's a mixture of Hispanics. Sometimes I'll see Samoans. And then depending on what part, you know, I'll see a bunch of black people. And then you get to a certain section and there's a lot of white humans there. So in terms of the whole immigration thing, at least within my vicinity, I haven't really seen it affected to the point to where Hispanics are hiding or they're not out as much. If anything, it seemed like every couple of weeks, you know, I'll look at one spot and it's like an additional 5 or 6 Hispanics there in that spot where it was before. So I think it just depends. And at least in my opinion, when it comes to immigration, I do believe that if you did not enter a certain section of the world legally, that you should not be there and that you should be removed. But there is a way to do it that is more humane than what I've been seeing. But, you know, when humans are just allowed to come in all willy-nilly, regardless of their ethnicity or gender, a lot of times you get those criminals and humans that just act out of pocket. So in order to minimalize that, it would be best just to do things the legal way. And, you know, I understand if, you know, humans are trying to escape a bad situation, which is why, you know, I said that there is a way to do it that's humane. You know, not everyone that comes over is a criminal, but you have to really be careful because once you open the floodgates, it's over. Then everybody comes in and then you have to worry about doing cleanup. But at least I can say, within my portion of Cali that I have seen a lot of Hispanics, you know, whether I'm going to the grocery store, the movies, I see them quite often, even like whole families out in the park, you know, playing baseball and soccer and everything.
Oh, wait till ICE comes over there. They ain't going to be running around no more. They're going to be out hiding. Trust me, like everywhere else. But here's the thing I will say. And, cause, you know, and I think about it, Roberto, like you know, you see a lot more ethnicity groups than mainly white people, to be honest with you. French is still there, right? Because most people have to conform and speak French anyways, right?
Oh, French is there, but I'm saying like Quebecois people.
Yeah. I got what you mean.
They're letting in because they
because they speak French, right? Yeah. No, I got what you're saying. And I do think that if get taken out of hand, yes, 100% it can be a problem. But I think a lot of these, especially in the States, they're making it out to be a lot bigger than it actually is, right? Because these countries were created off of immigration, right? Immigrants created these countries. That's where they make their money from. So I understand that you do have to keep it under check because you can't just have everybody coming here. But at the same time, I think the way they're doing it over there is Trump is doing it because he's racist and he just wants to get rid of everybody because they're attacking. So they're attacking people who are coming out of court trying to do it the right way. They're getting them like right away. And if you're trying to do it the right way and you're getting hit up by ICE and possibly deported, what else can you do at that point? You know what I mean? So I'm at the point where I just think like, 100% needs to
brother.
be
So
worked on, needs to be some refrain, but I think that, it's getting way blown out of proportion. What were you going to say, Terrence?
I was gonna say, brother. So the next election is in 2028, correct?
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, I
See,
believe so.
now there needs to be a shift. Like I'm gonna have to put together a small faction and hashtag Terrence for president, so that way I can really make sure that things go according to plan. Because there's so many things in place where humans are messing up. I feel like if you have the Terrence leadership, these humans will come correct.
Mhm. No, I got you. What up, Paul? He said there are parts of the city there ain't a white person in sight. No one cares. They all came here legally. It's advantage of being on a big island. No, I agree with you. We shouldn't care, but you know they do. That's a huge part of why they're doing what they're doing, right? Because they feel like, and I think I have a video. I don't have, but it's a Charles Barkley video where he's talking to this white guy, and he's like, "Yeah, we feel like we're losing. We're going to be the minorities in a few years, and that's not what I want." He said he wants a European white country. You know what I'm saying? So that's how they feel, right? But man, I just feel like at the end of the day, if you're doing stuff legally to get into the country and you're going to courts, you're doing your papers, you're paying your money, and you get hit up coming out of a court date, that's messed up. That's messed up,
Well,
man.
well, based upon what you said that human was saying while talking to Barkley, I spoke to a human about that, and I told him, I was like, yeah, that's interesting that you feel that way because my last time I checked, I'm like, yep, Europeans stole this place from Native Americans. And also,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
there were some black people that were there too that were just, coming over,
Mm-hmm.
seeing what time it was, hey, how you
Mm-hmm.
doing and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
clapped a couple of Native American cheeks and then went back home.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, if you really look at the history, then really you can't be like, oh, this is ours and it belongs to us. I'm like, technically, those that came before you stole it. If you want to look at history, but yeah,
And it's funny because people think that there was no black people in America until we were brought over from slavery. People actually think that there was
right,
no black people here until they were brought over from Africa. No, there were black people here. Like,
correct. That's why I had to tell that human that I'm like, no, I'm like, my people, they were adventurers. You had the ones that would go out and see what time it was, and you had the kings and queens, and they would come back and report like, hey, this way over here. Maybe you're interested or whatever. But essentially, you had black people everywhere. It was just a question of how many at any given time based upon what was happening in the world. And it
mhm,
has nothing to do with the idea that we were kidnapped and stolen. By the
mhm.
time factor in how black people were finding out about the idea of what was happening to them during slavery, they're like, oh nope, enough of that. So they had to come and kidnap them by the thousands. That's literally what happened.
Absolutely. Said, I'm confused why Trump wants to get rid of Latinos. They were one of the biggest voter bases last election. Weird move. 100%. You had the woman that actually did the Trump song or whatever
Mhm.
ended up husband getting deported. You know what I mean? It just goes to show you, like I said earlier, that you can't trust any of these politicians, no matter what the hell they say, what you think they're gonna
Facts.
do or whatever. You can't trust any of them because they all backtrack on all of their shit all the time. Dandelion said all those undocumented workers were paying billions in taxes with no opportunity to ever benefit from those taxes. 100%. 100%. And that's another problem that I have too, is where there's a lot of this, oh, well, they're coming here and they're taking our jobs. No, they're not, because you ain't doing those jobs. We ain't doing those jobs. I say me too, right? But we ain't doing those jobs. We ain't going out there cutting people's grass. You know, like
Hey,
as an
hey, Hanzo,
They're doing it down here, bro.
Hanzo, they be hustling where I'm at. Like I just would
Yeah, they
go up
hustle, bro. They black, they all hustle out here.
yeah,
well,
like
that's the good thing though. But yeah, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, I would just go up to, GNC or whatever to get some protein shakes and things, and then, you'd have like a group of Hispanic guys, and I'd be like, hola, and then, they'll start speaking Spanish a lot. Oh no, I'm actually not, that familiar with the language. I just only know a couple of words, and then they start laughing, and they'll speak in English, but they're very nice. Like there were a bunch of times where, say if they had like some sandwiches or donuts or whatever they had that they were eating, they would offer me some as I'm coming by, like, hey, how you doing? You want some? And I'm like, oh, thank you. So they're, from my experience, they're really nice. So
There's
yeah.
there is nothing wrong with having a diverse society. There's nothing wrong with it. People can learn from one another and stuff like that, right? So, to say, "Oh, I don't want to live around Asians," or "I don't want to live around," you know what I mean? Yeah, listen, hey man, you give me some of them fried rice them Asians be cooking up. Yeah, you damn right. I want an
Fair.
Asian neighbor. You know what I mean? Hey, you want fried rice? Yes, thank you. Please give me some of that fried rice. You know what I mean? Like it's just weird that, at this day and age, like we all can't just realize that, everybody's human and everybody's the same and we could all learn from one another. It's crazy.
But I
It's
also think
crazy.
it's a regional thing too. 'Cause like me and Terrence was just speaking from our experiences. West Coast, he has a different experience than what I have over here,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Mhm.
From what I've seen, because I haven't seen anything, I'm just going off what I've seen. It's usually mostly New York, Chicago, the sanctuary city areas, right, where you see the most of the vitriol, most of the argument against immigration, stuff like that, right? More where it's more of a melting pot of people.
Mhm.
Now I would say this again, like I think open borders was a big mistake, especially without any safeguards. If you're gonna do open borders, at least have some safeguards for them. Because if I'm a business person from overseas, I would hate to do business with a country where every 4 years I'm have to go renegotiate with somebody else is in power. So I think there should have been immigration reform. If they push forward and didn't get it, that's one thing. But if they didn't push forward, it kind of makes you wonder, did the other side have their best interest in heart too? Like we were talking about earlier, people would say one thing to get these votes and get in the seats. When they get in there, they do the complete opposite.
Yep. So you just got to answer the questions. They'll have you, when you're in a position of power, they're always going to ask you the basic questions, so that's what I'm saying. If I get in office, I just would be answering these questions appropriately. Like, oh, like, what are you going to do about the Hispanic problem? I'm like, what Hispanic problem? Like, Hispanics are fine. I was like, now there's a human problem. I'm like, don't get me started on the human problem. But no, we're not going to isolate a specific ethnicity. But yep, next question. And I just would, handle it accordingly because, naturally they want you to read from scripts. They already, they prepare you before you go in there. Say this, avoid this, don't say that, which is why a lot of their speeches come across as very generic and unnatural because they're not actually doing any thinking. Others are doing the thinking for them. And it's the same thing where there'll be a little bit of progress, but then because of the delays or the idea of ignoring certain things, then you get all these setbacks and then you create a domino effect of negativity over time.
Hmm. And you know what? And I say this because even Roberto I can attest to Roberto. Like, we've never ever seen color as like, that's a white dude. He can't hang with us. You know what I mean? We had white dudes hanging in the crew. We had Asian people in the crew. Like, if you were cool, you were cool. It didn't matter who you were or what race you were. You know what I mean, Roberto? Go ahead.
Even had, people from rich areas hanging.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you were down, you were down. You brought us to your house. You introduce us to your family. You give us food. You come to our house. We give you food and no disrespect.
100%.
And I think it's a little different here for me. We still have a lot of places where blacks stay on one side of town, whites stay on the other. right? We still have that kind of segregation down here too. Although things are different, it's still prevalent here. So again, it is a regional thing. It is a case by case scenario thing. It's hard to. It's really hard to pinpoint one thing, right? Because everyone has different perspectives based on where they live. I've never had an issue with it. I love everybody. You're cool with me. You're cool with me regardless of who you are, whatever race you are. But I'm just one individual.
Yeah, that's interesting.
One thing I'll say is, and because I know JG, you said we're one individual. You're correct, but Roberto, like, because your daughter is the same age as my son, you think that they don't see race as bad as we used to, the next generation? Because I don't think they see it like, you know what I mean? Of course, there's always going to be racism, but I think it's getting better. At least I hope it is. What are your
They're
thoughts?
more open now.
And don't you think that's maybe kind of fearful for the older generation?
Well, you know what? We had our turn. They're going to have their turn.
That's true. That's true.
You know, as much as what was preached to us, we still said, yeah, Pops, okay. And we did what we wanted to do behind closed doors. Lessons learned, hopefully. But racism was never taught to me in my house.
Same.
These ones are. You're home just as much as you're anywhere else, if not more. So when you're hearing that rhetoric all the time, you're hearing your parents do it. Do you want to counter your parents? Do you want an allowance? Do you want to eat? Do you want to avoid getting beat? Yeah. So be racist like them.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
go
ahead, T.
Okay, so since I grew up in Cali, and then like when I was a little kid, I would venture into LA, which is not that far. I just have to hop on the freeway and I'm there in Compton and Watts and all these things. And this was in the 90s. So, you know, I've been to ghettos and seeing things that a lot of humans only seen in movies. You know, I haven't seen nobody get shot or none of that stuff, but, you know, I've heard about it. Like it was around me in some kind of way. Like somebody always had a story that happened to be black. You know, somebody got killed or whatever. So the perspective of how the parents would raise, you know, black kids in Cali was different because we were in the sea of all the gang violence and stuff. Like you got to be careful. So they teach us how to avoid certain things or be on the lookout. Not so much, you know, preparing us to be racist or hateful necessarily, but just to be mindful of potential things that could happen because it was all around us. Like, and you weren't safe because you were at school. You weren't safe because you were at church. Like none of that shit mattered. It was just the idea of the environment and how, even if it was in the next city over, I mean, humans forget that there's stuff called cars and buses and bikes and stuff. You know, it don't take them that long to get to you, like when they essentially right around the corner. So in my school, there were tons of gangs, you know, and luckily they ended up being cool with me in a sense. A lot of it had to do with a combination of respect and fear because they knew I could fuck them up. But like, you know, you had to really establish yourself so you wouldn't get jumped or shot at and stuff. And then even if there was a rumor, it doesn't matter. Like that could lead you to getting jumped or shot or something just off of a rumor. So you know, parents were aware of that. So I always tell humans that, especially with black people, that it just depends on the type of black people and where they grew up because they will have different stories.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah. Now I will say, before you go on, so real quick,
yeah, Mike said. Mike
said
JG. I was just saying, Mike said JG's here, so he was.
I don't know what I've done to this man. He's been on me ever since. What's her? I can't remember her name. You know what I'm talking
about. That's why. That's why.
Oh man! But I will say, when I used to spend a lot of my summers in New York, seeing family there, there was a kind of a racial divide that was similar yet a little different than I deal with down south, right? To where if I'm in the Heights and I need to go to this corner store over here, that's a Jamaican-owned corner store that would send me over there because I was darker skinned. They were like, no, they don't like us over there. So you still have that stuff kind of going on. And so it's like Terrence said, like I was taught racism in the form of be mindful, watch out, head on a swivel, watch out for this, watch out for that. Not in a sense of hate, but as a sense of protection. Like just be careful, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot. Like I told humans, I'm like all that, West, the West Piru Street and the stuff with Suge Knight and all them. I'm like that's not even far from my location. I'm like all that stuff with the colors and the clicks and the Crips and stuff. I'm like I've seen all that in real time when I was a kid and still to this day within my area. So like that's some real shit. Like you just can fuck around and wear the wrong color and they be like, yo, what set you from? And then next thing you know, you seeing Jesus early. It can happen that fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Also,
you be a black man in the wrong area.
Facts.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I agree with this. Australia is so different culture, I guess. Same with Canada. Like honestly, when it comes to like certain things, like I can't even pretend to understand what some Americans actually go through. You know what I mean? Like we can sympathize with it and stuff like that, but yeah, it's totally different over there.
Count your blessings, bro. Count
Hey,
your blessings.
that's why like with certain movies and stuff, like the great ones like Boys in the Hood and Menace to Society and House Party, and even like recently with the Straight Outta Compton film, I'm like the humans that that don't live in Cali and all that shit, like they'll see that and they're like, does that really happen? We're like, yes. Like they will definitely come on the bus. And if you throwing up gang sign, like all that shit happens. It's not an exaggeration at all, which is what makes those kinds of films terrifying because they're a way of educating and warning individuals that you don't want to be aligned with those individuals or you want to try to avoid things if you can.
100%. Because like we've had moments, like I'm not saying that, but living in it constantly every day. Nah, bro, we can't even pretend to say we experienced that. You know what I mean?
I'm lucky. I feel like I wasn't in the hood, but the hood sometime would come to be though.
What'd you say, Roberto?
I went to Miami with the wife, and you remember when and ones were large?
Yeah.
So I went down, picked up a pair of red and white and ones. Sure enough, they had a red and white hat that matched, you know? Picked that shit up, sported it, said I fit in. Go downtown now, we're shopping. My wife is over in the bra department, so I'm chilling on the side. Don't want to be seen in there, you know? Two guys walk by and look me up and down, head to toe.
Wrong colors.
When they were like halfway down and still looking at me, it dawned on me, holy fuck, I'm wearing red.
Yeah, wrong colors.
And the wife, yo, we gotta go. It's like, what's wrong? I go, listen, we just gotta go. I gotta change. We gotta go. It's like, babe, relax. You're exact. No, I'm not exaggerating. We're not in Canada. Let's fucking go.
Right.
Grab a kid. Let's go. Like the urgency I applied to that was like life or death.
Oh, facts.
That's the way I felt they looked at me, like, you know.
And you were smart because you were very smart with that, Roberto. Like, you know, it's great that the instincts kicked in because a lot of times, like, say you get into a confrontation, you beat somebody down or whatever, or you ignore something. Like I said, it can happen that fast.
Yeah.
Like this whole thing of like them showing up with more dudes or doing the drive-bys. That's some real shit. They don't care that you're with your son or your daughter or whatever. You know, maybe they won't take them out, but you, no, open season. Like they no, you're done. It's almost a guarantee if you're a guy, you're done.
No questions asked.
And it's funny if you're not aware of your surroundings, that would have went right over your head, Roberto. You just thought these dudes were being assholes, right? Not realizing like, oh shit, I'm not wearing the right colors.
Luckily for us, we grew up in our own kind of hood.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't necessarily colors, but with us, you know, you're going to a party in the South. You're going to a party in the South Shore. You got to remember, you're not on your turf anymore.
Yeah. 100%.
So, you know, 100%. Those survival instincts is what more or less kicked in, T. Because, you know, if my instincts were there, I wouldn't have put that shit on. I would have left that shit in the box and saved it for Montreal.
Well, see, but the reason why I said that your instincts kicked in is because you were receptive to what happened in that moment.
Yes, you're right. Yeah. But it could have been too late. You know what I mean?
Very true. Very true.
Bro, real quick. I remember one time we were going to a 49er game. We drove. Yeah, dumbasses drove from Tennessee to California. And me and my friend, we were both tired, so the girls were driving. We all had a 49er gear on. They got lost in LA, took the wrong turn. So we weren't in LA, it was outside of, but it was close enough. We stopped at a gas station. We're trying to figure out how the hell we get out of here, right? Dude walked up. What he said? What's your set, homie? What you rap or something like that? I'm like, what? We just try to get back to expressway. He's like, we talking about expressway. The E-way, the express, because here we say E-way or expressway. We're interstate. They say freeway there.
Yeah.
So I guess he thought we were trying to like mess with him. And he, at the end, when it was all said and done, he said, you lucky you ran into me because anybody else would have got you.
Yeah. They don't
It's like
play.
it's crazy, man. Because here we don't have, it's not so much colors. We have a lot of games, but not so much colors. It's more so, like you said, turfs. Where you from? They know you. If nobody knows you, I wouldn't even go in that area unless somebody knows you can vouch for you.
Right, but you know, it's a whole history, right? And the streets, they don't care if you're ignorant or not. Just like Suge Knight said, it's like they don't care. Like it's your fault that you didn't know. Like there's that whole history of what the Crips started out to be, and then what it turned into, and then why the Bloods were created in the 70s. Like it's a response thing, and it evolved over time into something that was inherently violent. But if you don't know and you get caught slipping, that's the problem. So that's, I tell humans, when you pay attention to a lot of the rap, especially the gangster rap, like they tell you, like, you hear a lot of times in the lyrics, like, yeah, homie got caught slipping. That's a real thing. If you get caught slipping, you're done.
And I'll say this. Yes, you are correct. It is a highway. It ain't a fucking freeway or whatever you want to call it. It's a highway. Yes, that's it. And Mike said, hey, I genuinely appreciate Canada paying tariffs for my comic books that come from there. Trumpito's plan worked perfectly. Oh, wait, it's been me. I've been the one that's been fucking paying them.
You anti-American road comic wannabe
mother. We got the good shit.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Messing with you, Mike. Messing with you, bro.
For the longest time, you guys were buying our trees before 9/11.
Facts. But
only from BC were in Vegas legally. Thank you.
Wait, what did I miss? I don't know.
He bought weed or
highway.
You don't believe that.
Yeah, we call it a highway.
I'm surprised he didn't catch that one, Nzo.
I didn't hear. What did he say?
He said only time he bought weed.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I was gonna.
What did I miss? Something about a freeway or a highway? What happened?
You guys call it a freeway. I'm just saying we call it a highway. You know what I mean?
Like it was basically like depending on where you are, what hood you're from. Verbiage matters. Verbiage matters.
Yes.
Even though it is a highway, they may call it something else.
We just call it a freeway in Cali.
So let me ask you this, Mike, because I know some comics are already expensive. So are you able to raise the price of the comics to cover the cost? Because I know that's going to hurt too if that's the case, right? Because obviously you're the one that pays the tariffs on it, right? But like do you eat it? Do you eat that, or do you just like say maybe I'll raise the price of the comics? Because at this point, that's what a lot of places are doing, right? They're raising their prices so that they don't have to pay the tariffs, and it ends up being the consumer that's doing that. So just a question I had to have. Now I wanted to show this because Roberto talked about Air Force Ones, and it reminded me of this. So watch this.
Did y'all know that Generation Z considers Air Force Ones old people shoes? So I was at the comedy club last night, and the manager of the club, she has teenage sons. They're Gen Z, so I like to talk to them because they keep me up on game, so I can tell what's going on in this generation after us. Because I'm 33, I'm a little outdated when it comes to the hip new lingo. So I walk in wearing these shoes, and they say, "Oh, watch out, Raj got on the dad shoes." Dad shoes, nigga, these are Air Force Ones. I don't know where my voice is at, but these is Air Force Ones. Like, what do you mean, dad shoes? And they was like, yeah, only old dudes wear those shoes. And I was like, what? They got a song. And they said, yeah, that song came out like 30 years ago. I was like, first of all, bitch, it was 20? Fuck you. Okay, these give me 2 per I need to burn. So I can get to stomping in my Air Force One. These was the shit when we was in middle school. Now all of a sudden they old people shoes.
I didn't know that shit.
Forget all that. I will wear whatever shoes I want to wear, and if somebody want to do something about it, come take my shoes and get me some. If that's how mad you get.
Terrence, ain't nobody fighting you, bro. You just ain't gonna mess with you.
Shit,
ain't nobody messing with you.
I got a bunch of Air Force Ones in my closet right now. You were telling me now I'm wearing these old man shoes?
I got Air Force One boots.
Facts. What are we talking
I
about
cut
here?
grass in them. I'm too afraid to wear them in public.
Wow, really? Why?
You know what? At least I'm a styling old man.
Thank you.
That is true. That is true.
Thank you. 100%.
What are we talking about? Saying thank you for?
Wait, what? Wait, what? Hey. JJ,
you styling the profile today, so I give you that black on black. I like that. That's good, bro.
Don't let me send you. Don't let me send you the collection, bro. Don't let me do that. You know what I mean? It's fucked up too because, yeah.
You see what Danny Line wrote there?
Which one?
$20 item would have had a $15 tariff plus a. So you're telling me 2/3 is additional cost on the original cost?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, also
maybe that's why I haven't bought nothing from the U.S. since Captain One.
Well, also factor you still got the USMCA that's kind of NAFTA, so I'm not sure if that still kind of cuts the price a little bit. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it doesn't? Okay.
Because we kind of get a pre-warning here if it's coming from the States. The seller will contact you when the sale is going to go through, because most things on, say, Amazon is you get it the next day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to see now that it's saying the vendor will contact you when the shipment's available. I canceled them right away. I canceled them right away. You want me to buy something, forget about it, then it shows up when I don't receive it, or I bought it somewhere else.
Said I could sell the comic book for whatever I want, but if I added the price of the tariff to the book, would pay $9.99 for something you could buy elsewhere for $3.99. So no, I eat it. That's crazy.
Well, let me see if that comic book's even worth it. What's the name of it?
That's crazy. Shit. I don't know if anybody wants to really buy comics at $10.99 or $9.99.
That's why I'm very fortunate, because from 2019 till now, I've been just reading stuff digitally for free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
there you go.
But you see, now again, I get it, because I think things are going digital now. Like even with gaming, they want to get rid of gaming, game discs. They want to get the DVDs, right? They want everything to go digital. I get that, but now everything goes digital, and that gets rid of the comic book shop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, okay, so physical media, I still buy, DVDs and Blu-rays, and then occasionally 4Ks, because they're cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you get the 4K because it comes with the Blu-ray, which is what I want anyway. But outside of that, I'm not really interested in collecting comics. I just want to read them. But I do know that, there are plenty of humans that are collectors of comics, and that they prefer to have the physical comic in their hand, when they're reading it. So I guess it just depends on the person. But as far as I'm concerned, as long as I could read them, I'm good.
I got you. Yes, this is going to the U.S. I have someone take over the border when they go and mail it from Washington State. They said the tariffs collected by import tax subsidy goes into general treasury fund. Trump claimed billions collected, but yet refuses to fund the government shutdown. Not a typo. Shit down. You said, okay, I got you. I got you. Hey, listen, man, at the end of the day, like I said earlier, hold on. Digital isn't a threat to comic book, because digital books were never potentially appreciated in value. As long as that happened, digital is an accessory, not a replacement. So I hear what you're saying, right? But it if people stop buying comics, regardless, it's still gonna go down, right? And every year, less and less people are buying comics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like every year, less and less people are buying games. Every year, less and less people, because they're not even making some of the games. To be honest with you, on disc anymore. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's a way for them to say how you never own anything, because you can go now and buy a collection of Xbox games on digital, and then
Right.
10 years down the line you may never be able to play them again because they closed
Right. They're
down the
like, oh,
servers.
young. Yeah, you go to go to play them and they're not there. Friends tell me
Mhm,
about that too. So,
mhm.
and the thing is, if you're like me, where you're just reading a lot of comic books in general, and you're not like, man, I'm not gonna go try to read something from 1940. Well, guess what? Some of those from the 1930s, 40s, and 50s are worth hundreds of thousands or a couple of $1 million. I'm like,
Oh,
but
100%.
on digital, it don't cost that. You could just read it. So
Mhm.
if you're that much of an enthusiast like myself, I'm like, you ain't got time to be searching for and trying to be in debt for like 30 generations buying those old comic books.
That's why what you have now, like if you have a collection or anybody has a collection, you hold on to that and give it to your kids, to give it down to your grandkids and stuff like that, because sooner or later there's going to be one day where those things are going to be extremely hard to find. And
Fact.
you're going to
Hmm.
make a lot of money off of that shit. Because I kid you not, and I'm not lying when I say this, I had every single He-Man character that has been created. I had every single one. One of those He-Man dolls is worth $20,000.
Damn.
I'm gonna jack your ass and take that He-Man doll.
$20,000. And that wasn't even mint. You know what I mean? So yeah, you
Yep.
got them things, you keep them as long as you can. But they won't, because some people treat them like stocks and try to figure out which ones will be worth money. As long as people out there consider them collectibles, it's safe. I get you, Mike. I do. I agree with you 100%. But those people are dwindling, right? Look at the new generation that's coming up, right? It's getting less and less. These are things that my son couldn't care less about. And I know none of his friends do, so that's what I'm saying, it's getting less and less with each generation, because generations are moving with the times. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Language.
Because even my friends who used to buy a lot of comic books, right? They, number one, they gave them all away, and they're doing the digital thing too. They're like,
Hmm.
man, P, look, I can just get this, Marvel or DC app, and then I can just read endless stuff, and I don't have to worry about space and all these things that they say. So it's happening.
What did you say, Roberto?
Oh, what did I say?
It's okay. He said, careful with collectibles. Beanie Babies are worth less than a penny. But here's the thing, though, they'll go back up,
Oh,
right?
I
A
said
lot
like,
of these,
language,
sorry.
like languages. The newer generation kids, they
Yes,
don't speak their parents' tongue. They
yes,
don't
yes,
care to know either.
yes.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny too? A lot of them can't even write cursive anymore. They're not even
They're
teaching
joking.
Nope.
cursive in
Ain't
school
that some
anymore.
shit?
Man, I can't
Yes.
stand that cursive shit, because some humans, when they do cursive, I'm like, what the fuck is that?
They think
They're
they're
like,
a
oh,
doctor, right? T?
hmm?
They think they're a
They,
doctor with their chicken tracks on paper.
yep, they're like, oh, that's bread. I'm like, is it? I can't even tell that that's bread in cursive.
Listen,
That looks crazy.
Well, I'll
listen.
tell
I
you one of
grew
the
up.
worst things that could have happened when they
Go ahead.
introduced spell check. Everybody got dumber when they
Yeah, yeah,
introduced
yeah,
spell
yeah.
check.
100%.
Everybody got dumber.
Hey, no
I
word of a
love it though.
lie.
Don't get me wrong.
This thing, this thing made us dumber.
Oh yeah,
Hands
for
down,
sure.
it made us dumber. Right, Roberto? Do you know your daughter's number off by heart?
Yep.
Oh, okay, you do. I don't.
Why should you know my daughter's number? Were you funny? No, I know what you're saying. I hear you. I hear you. No,
Wait, what?
honestly,
No.
it
Yeah.
took me a long time because when my wife asked me for it and I couldn't say it, and she's like, "Come on, man, that's your daughter." I was like, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Man, hey, phones are very helpful. I'm like, excuse me, Mr. Electronic Device, can you tell me this? And then it'll tell me, and I'm like, cool. It all works out in the end.
Dandelion said, "How many of you write in cursive?" Okay,
I
write
was
in
always
cursive,
I was
or
printing block.
can write in cursive.
I
'Cause
can
can't
write
write
in cursive, but I don't 99% of the time. I feel like the most time that you'll get me doing something cursive is when I do a signature on something.
Yeah,
That's about
that's
it.
about the only time.
Yeah.
Oh
I
wait,
printed
wrong
block.
cursive. Yes. More times I write in block, but yeah, I've
In
written in cursive.
capitals.
Yeah,
That way I could
'Cause
never get in trouble for spelling errors, you know?
I
Yeah.
also do it sometimes because I don't want to like forget it. You know what I mean? I get it's something that you might not forget, but I always want to keep it neat and stuff. So sometimes I'll just doodle and I'll actually write in cursive. But yeah, I have. My foot remembers every number other ass cheeks try to write. Really, LDG? Actually do write in cursive. Signing your name should always be in cursive. Most people do. I do too. I write it in cursive. I sign it in
Yeah.
cursive.
I don't
But
know, man. But
sometimes,
when I was a kid, man, I used to practice my signature like I was gonna be a celebrity.
yeah, me too. Now I just sometimes it's just like a chicken scratch, right? It's like and then put a mark
Now I
on the
just make it
paper.
that no one could really try and duplicate it. And
Yeah,
it's
you
hard
know what
for
I
me
mean?
to even fucking duplicate
I
it.
Yeah.
mean, okay, so if I think about my signature, I mean, I guess someone could potentially copy it. I mean, there's a certain way that I do the T and then how I do the last name, how I, just kind of glide the pen off. So like
Mhm.
I guess, but I wouldn't say that it's unique to the point to where you have these celebrities where they're signing like 30 million autographs in like 60 seconds and they could just do it perfectly each time. Like
Mhm.
I don't do it like that.
But
I
imagine you go to the bank and they make you sign that signature card, and then they ask you for your signature and you can't duplicate it and you can't get your own shit.
and you can't do it over again. It's crazy.
No, yeah, Roberto, there is a solution for that. You just
There's
grab them
gotta
by the
be
neck.
because fuck, I wouldn't sign that paper.
Roberto, the solution is that I'd grab them by the neck and demand my return.
Man, I like my hands in front of me, not cuffed behind me.
Hey,
Facts.
it won't be no cuffs. Like
I
sometimes
already I already showed the video backstage of what would happen with Terrence, right?
Oh,
So
I
we've
saw
seen
it.
that
Oh
already.
wait, we
Yeah,
still
you
got to
see.
do the end too. We got to do the end. 'Cause,
Ooh, these motherfuckers gonna get fucked up now. Yeah, 100%. You
Ooh,
know,
you setting a brother
um,
up?
I think it's worth learning, but not an essential skill. No, 100%. I agree with you. I think it's worth learning. It's not essential, but I just think that it's something we learned, and I think it's something that should be taught still. Most people don't remember how their signature looks like. That's why when you vote, some ballots get rejected because signatures don't match what's on record. If you have an auto pin signature, that's not a signature. F that. No, I agree. I agree. I'd like to see Terrence take on the police. No, no, you
hey,
don't.
hey.
You should do a sword two thing, with
Because
I'll
Terrence.
tell you what.
it would be another dead N word. That's what it would
Hey,
be.
hey,
So
I'll tell you what. Like I can realistically take out a few before something pops off, and it depends on how close they are and how quick. But I'm gonna get a couple, and then if I survive, then they can just make some sort of movie out of it. And humans like to record shit with their phones anyway, so somebody will capture that the cops are getting their ass beat. Somebody will get it.
Man, Terrence will do some Bruce Leroy stuff. Catch bullets with his teeth. Do that. Man, nobody gonna mess with Terrence, man.
Show enough come out of nowhere with the glow, just like, yep, Terrence. I'm like, wait, where'd you come from? Like, no.
all right, guys, that was great. Now we're gonna move on to the next one. You see the video I'm bringing up here. It says white girls are saying N word on the internet. What now? So let's listen to this video and see what she has to say.
White girls are saying nigger on the internet. I get it. Challenging liberal norms, free expression, breaking taboos, sticking it to the man who says what we can and can't say. When blacks use it, it's defiance and reclamation, solidarity. And I'd argue when noticing patterns of certain group behavior, it's also an act of defiance and solidarity for white people. After years of being forced to hear how all whites are racist, privileged, and supremacist, white rebellion is finally gaining traction. I'm not saying that every white person will be dropping hard R's on a daily basis, but it's about the spirit of change where white people are no longer shackled by dumb white guilt and lies. You can't tell us what we can't say or think anymore. We've played by the rules. What has it gotten us? Ruined countries full of crime, poverty, and two-tier justice where we are nearing minority status, and it's only gonna get worse. Cute girls are saying nigger and making salutes in an act of rebellion to stick it to the system. So what's next? White unity. White representation needs to go mainstream. We need in real life organization in a big way. Communities, activism, lobbying, political groups, orgs, nonprofits that are by us, for us. We have zero representation that is strictly for us. Literally everyone else has that. That is where this energy needs to go. In Europe, ethno-nationalists are already politically active in forming groups. Governments are trying to shut them down for advocating for their people first, putting them in jail. This is inevitable when you are the tip of the spear, forging a new path against the anti-white system. We must support our own. In the next decade, folk-first white lobby groups need to be socially acceptable and ready to work. We're being flooded by hostile foreigners everywhere we live, and soon monitored by AI for thought crimes. Your kids will not know the same world as you, and time is ticking. Hard R rebellious energy needs to be channeled into productive action to create the world we want our kids to live in. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
Hold on. This is why parents need to become president. Hold the fuck on. Like I'm gonna say this in a very respectful way, you know, because I know we got viewers and stuff, but she needs to be backhanded. There is not a look at that makes any damn sense whatsoever.
Roberta. Oh, Roberto's muted. JG.
Yeah, like Terrence said, she was regurgitating a lot of nonsense. She probably did that video just to say the N-word with the hard R and try to make it educational so she don't get, canceled. I don't know. Look, whether you say with the hard R or the GA, you catch these hands either way. All right, so don't get it twisted thinking, I'm just saying with the GA to hide the fact that I wouldn't want to call you with the hard R. No, you catching these hands either way.
Facts. I said it earlier and I say it again. Like, this kind of shit is what. Listen, we and LDG, you're there, so you say it all the time. Freedom of speech, right? Freedom of speech. But that doesn't give you freedom of consequences. So if you feel like you want to say the word and someone punches you in the face, you can't get mad at that because there's always an action for another or a reaction. Every action causes a reaction. So you can't determine what someone's reaction is going to be if they hear you say, hey, N-word, and they punch you in the face.
Right. Like Rush Hour 1. Remember, Jackie Chan went in the bar and he said it, and then look what happened. That's what could happen.
What did you say, Roberto?
So why are they always blonde?
I don't know, Roberto.
Majority of them are blonde, man.
That is funny.
That
it breaks my heart, Roberto. Like I don't know what happened.
What's your name, JG? The clown who speaks for the president?
The clown who speaks for the president?
Oh, yeah. Margie Green or something like that?
Margie Green. Talk about the speaker?
Yeah.
I have no idea what her name is.
She's the one who always speaks.
But she's blonde hair. Yeah. I know you're talking about.
Donald Trump is the best. He does what he wants. Nobody asks questions. Next.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know what her name is. I know who she is. I don't know what her name is.
Man, I hate her. She's like in line with Vance.
Dandelion said, I'm also a white chick. I'd go slap some sense into her for y'all. Yeah, we know you down, Dandelion. We ain't worried about that. But, that's why I said.
Racist rhetoric you played there. I just walked in to go get another hit, and I heard that. I said, wait till I come back.
Oh, you didn't see it?
I saw parts of it. I heard the N-word.
Oh, shit. All right. You know what? We're going to play this again. So
she had the one with Daryl Orlando. We told the guy.
Who is she? Where did this come from?
I will say it with you. That dude, that was fun.
Honestly, this is the one. Why do you want to say the N-word so bad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is what she had to say, Roberta. Hold on, let me share my screen. Because boy, I say this and I said it before, like, why? Why is it so, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I gotta say this word. I want to say this word. Like, you know, we're gonna say the word. I just like I don't even think we should say it, but let's listen
White
again.
girls are saying nigger on the internet. I get it. Challenging liberal norms, free expression, breaking taboos, sticking it to the man who says what we can and can't say. When blacks use it, it's defiance and reclamation, solidarity. And I'd argue when noticing patterns of certain group behavior, it's also an act of defiance and solidarity for white people. After years of being forced to hear how all whites are racist, privileged, and supremacist, white rebellion is finally gaining traction. I'm not saying that every white person will be dropping hard R's on a daily basis, but it's about the spirit of change where white people are no longer shackled by dumb white guilt and lies. You can't tell us what we can't say or think anymore. We've played by the rules. What has it gotten us? Ruined countries full of crime, poverty, and two-tier justice where we are nearing minority status, and it's only gonna get worse. Cute girls are saying nigger and making salutes in an act of rebellion to stick it to the system. So what's next? White unity. White representation needs to go mainstream. We need in real life organization in a big way. Communities, activism, lobbying, political groups, orgs, nonprofits that are by us, for us. We have zero representation that is strictly for us. Literally everyone else has that. That is where this energy needs to go. In Europe, ethno-nationalists are already politically active and forming groups. Governments are trying to shut them down for advocating for their people first, putting them in jail. This is inevitable when you are the tip of the spear, forging a new path against the anti-white system. We must support our own. In the next decade, folk-first white lobby groups need to be socially acceptable and ready to work. We're being flooded by hostile foreigners everywhere we live, and soon monitored by AI for thought crimes. Your kids will not know the same world as you, and time is ticking. Hard R rebellious energy needs to be channeled into productive action to create the world we want our kids to live in. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
They did, I think he did not move the entire video.
This is why Thanos was right. This is a goddamn shame.
Like that, River.
This bitch got my heart beating irregular.
Yeah, go ahead, Roberto. Go ahead.
Wow. Did she like make some comparison that white people don't have representation?
Mm-hmm.
That's odd.
Yeah, but that's what they all say, that though. They feel like they don't have representation and they're losing their country and all kinds of stuff like that. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Why don't we reverse roles?
What up, Danny?
How about we become you guys? We're in control of everything, and everything we do is right and perfect. And you guys become us, the minority, and the struggle, and you try and make something out of nothing so we can steal from you.
Facts.
You know, let's do a little role reversal here and see how they fucking want what they don't have.
Right.
Facts.
I mean, it's just like when I hear them say, like, man, we should have a White History Month. And I'm like, well, most of the days out of the year are white. And also, do you want them to focus on the fact that you literally stole culture from everyone else? And then you talk about enslavement. I'm like, because if you're going to do White History Month, you got to cover all of that. So it's just not going to look good for you. So you should probably shut your asses up. Just saying.
It's funny you mentioned that, T, because I had posed a question where I had heard something to Nzo that Donald Trump had gotten rid of Black History Month. Is that the case, or is he in the midst of trying to do that?
I haven't heard anything like that. Like not anything official. Like I've heard about the idea of humans being afraid that he, might do that, but nothing where it's gained any sort of traction.
That's like everything else that's black.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I don't think we got to worry about that. I think
he could have it.
Sure, but I don't think that should be a concern. I feel like that will be fine. I think it's easy for individuals to look in every possible direction when there seems to be a lot of attacks going on, but at the same time, I just don't see that happen.
Well, he could have it, T, because I don't understand why it's only a month.
Well,
That was my
Well, you gotta remember the
when I was
Congressional
growing
Black
up. Why
Caucus
the
also
fuck we
was
only
part
get
of
1 month? Why isn't it all the time? I don't know any other history that has a time frame on it.
Well, you gotta
Well, I
remember
mean,
Congressional Black Caucus was behind that too. So they are to
well,
blame for that 1 month thing as well.
well, the thing is that, you know, when I was created, it was meant to do two things: celebrate and educate, right? You know, then you, of course, you got like Hispanic Heritage Month and the month for Asian Heritage, and then the month for Native Americans. But like, my thing is, Black people themselves can decide to do the research and celebrate all the time
Right.
and not just have to adhere to a particular month. And like everyone else can do the same, but it's just that it is nice that you do have a period where you can be educated and you do have the idea of celebration. So I think that it's important for it to remain intact just for the sake of, again, you know, celebration and
Agreed.
education, because without it, then you're going to get a lot of the whole like, oh, well, there's no need for me to really focus on it. And then it'll have to be down to just us kind of going to each other's houses and trying to deliver on lessons, so to speak, instead of it just being out there in the forefront for 30 some odd days to be celebrated. I think it is important.
28. They
to
made
do
sure
it.
it's the shortest one.
Sure. But I'm just saying that I think it's good that it's there versus not, because there is a lot of misinformation.
Mhm.
And there are a lot of things in history that have to do with Black people that a lot of humans don't know about, because you'll get, you know, the Dr. King and Malcolm X, right? You know, great guys, all important. But there's so many other accomplishments and so many other individuals and a lot of things that, you know, Black people created that were stolen from them that a lot of humans are unaware of to this day. You know what I mean? Like a lot of humans just don't seem to realize that Egypt is a part of Africa. I made a video about that and I got thousands of views on it. And he was like, what? What? Oh, shoot. I didn't know that. And then you have, you know, Black people come in, oh, thank you for speaking on this, T. This is amazing. Like, we need more of this. And I'm like, wow. So if that is the case, imagine how much information a lot of humans don't know about, a lot of individuals that humans don't know about. So I think it is important that that remains intact.
But with Trump eliminating Black history, what point of reference are you going to have?
Well, has he eliminated Black History Month at this moment in time?
No, he hasn't, but he's eliminated a lot of Black related.
You know, to be honest with you though, Roberto, I think it's more June 19th what they want to get rid of more than Black History Month, right?
I'm just saying it's a matter of time because he's attacking everything Black.
He's trying, yeah, 100%.
Oh, he's doing it. He's doing it.
Well, I'll say this.
I'm not saying so. When it comes to humans, everything is possible. However, you know, I do think there is the idea of less and more likely. I think that's less likely that, you know, Black History Month would be eliminated by somebody that's not Black. You know, I feel like it would have to be more realistically a collective thing from Black people to where they feel it's time to dismiss it. But I don't even see that happening.
Yeah.
And
I don't.
say,
Go ahead, JJ.
I was gonna say you also gotta remember, Roberto, Black History Month, February, shortest month of the year, was also pushed also by the Congressional Black Caucus, right? So we got to look at that as well. Another thing, when it comes to our history, we have to own our history. The Civil Rights Museum, all that stuff has to be Black owned, 100%. BET should be Black owned, 100%.
Yeah, BET.
When you allow other people to have their hands in it, you no longer have that control over it.
Right. That is factual.
That's
so
the problem. So if we want to keep ours, and I know Eli put something about the school curriculums. I don't know what it's like over in Cali, but I know here since I was a kid, when it came to Black history, it was maybe 3-4 pages. That was it. Everything I've learned about Black history, I learned from my parents and those who knew about Black history. It wasn't from schools.
So, okay, so I've been out of school since 2007, right? But going to all these different schools out here in Cali, because I went to quite a few of them because I, you know, got expelled a few times. But when it comes to schools out in Cali, whenever I would have history class at any point, they would cover Black stuff, but it would usually be you would get Dr. King, Malcolm
Yeah.
X, Rosa Parks, and then Muhammad Ali, right? But
Yeah.
that was pretty much it. Like there was a lot of it that just was not covered. And every once in a while, you might get, a Jackie Robinson or something like that. But for the most part, you would have to take a special class that focused on Black history
History to get the real stuff.
get the
Yeah.
real focus, right? So a
Mhm.
lot, even out in Cali, unless you went to USC or UCLA or something like that. Like so, for the most part, you would have to be educated from somebody that you live with to give you that kind of information, or you had to look it up on your own. And I know this because even in how I was mentioning earlier, like I've had a lot of videos where humans will leave comments saying that, oh, we weren't taught that, or oh, I didn't know that, or only got a small piece of the information. I didn't know about this part of the history. And I'm
Mhm.
like, wow, this is why these kinds of conversations are important. Even if you get to a point to where a certain day or a certain month is eliminated, I think it's up to humans to make sure that they continue to pass on the information.
Mhm. No,
And we
you're
have to tell our own story too. I'm sorry, Enzo.
no. I'm just gonna say you're right because usually they have this certain curriculum, right? You know what I mean? The word I'm looking for, but it's always the same thing that they teach you when it comes to Black history, right? Slavery, Martin Luther King. Sometimes you'll get a little bit of Malcolm X, you'll get Rosa Parks, and then stuff like that, right? But there's a lot of other things that happen that they don't even talk about. You know what I mean? And you got to go and do your own research on that. So yeah, and I think especially I remember here in Canada, we had a Black history class one year, and that's when I was able to learn a lot of stuff. But regular history classes, history of history of Canada and Quebec, that's what they teach you, right? That's what they teach you. That's our history. So I was able to get into a Black history class one year where they had one, and I only had it once, right? We had 1 year of a Black history class and never had it again. So at least they gave us that, and I was able to, learn a lot more than I would have if I didn't have that class. So I
Um,
appreciated that
now,
100%.
now, full circle moment, like I told humans out here, and then certain humans that I spoke to online that did not grow up in Cali and they weren't around in the 90s or the 80s or none of that stuff. I'm like, when it comes to the streets, I don't care what book you watch, what documentary, how many movies you watch, it is not the same thing as actually experiencing it, seeing it, and hearing it in real time. Like
Hmm.
it just that type of history, somebody needs to teach you directly
Hmm.
because you
Hmm.
can't get you only
Hmm.
get the surface level stuff
Hmm.
when it comes to documentaries and stuff. You really need as much of the picture as possible for
Hmm.
your own information and then also for safety reasons too.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And let's remember the Black History African American Museum is federally owned.
Hmm.
So since federally owned, he can do whatever he wants with it.
Yeah,
That's
no,
why
no,
I
no.
said we
That's
have to own our own stuff. We have
100%.
that's what we have
Sorry.
to do. So you good? Yeah. So we own our own stuff. It's nothing he can do about it. Look at
You are.
the Jewish museums. Look at the Holocaust Museum. He ain't
Hmm.
touching that.
Hmm.
I wonder why. Right. So
No, you are 100% correct. We need to own our own shit. We need to own hip hop. Hip hop should be ours, right? That's what we should own. We should own our own banks. We should own our own TV networks. BET should be Black Network. You are absolutely right because when they get their hands on it, they water it down. Like, you remember how live BET used to be?
Yep.
Yep.
Now, what
Uh,
happens if you put on BET?
yeah,
You
yeah.
see the same freaking football show, the black one, that has been on there for 20 freaking years.
Man, BET used to be different when I was a kid in the 90s and shit. Like you had some real black entertainment and then, of course, I like the late nights. You had big booties and stuff on at like midnight and stuff like that was popping. It was like an hour segment. But the point is that it was just built different at that time in
Hmm.
comparison to, once you get past like 2010, then yeah, we don't talk about BET anymore.
That was a premium channel.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. You know how long it took BET to come here, and then you know what I mean. When we got BET, bro,
to get BET, we tried
Facts.
everything. But
Facts.
that didn't work.
Facts.
Man, that shit crazy. BET was so hard that, man, even fucking Killer Croc and Suicide Squad wanted some BET. I was like, it's part of the joke because BET was the shit at it. It was at one point. So
just to know that we had something.
Facts.
Like for me, when I went to New York for the first time and I went to Brooklyn, I was standing on the street. I was in such awe. See the black bus driver, black cab driver, black guy in a suit. Everybody was black. I was like, "Fuck, is this a dream?" You know, that's how it was for me for the first time to see all black.
Yeah, for sure.
And nobody was struggling. New York was vibrant, man. New York was the lick.
That it was in the 80s, right?
Yeah, those late 70s,
I remember.
early 80s.
Yeah, I remember when you guys.
Wow, New York was everything, man.
Yeah.
So
That's what I'm.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say maybe we need to be vampires like in Sinners or something. Maybe that'll help.
BET has been replaced by OWN Network. Yeah, but that'll never replace BET, bro.
Hell no.
I get what he's saying. I get what he's saying, but no.
He's trolling, man.
No,
I cannot get anything on that network.
Not at all, bro. Not at all.
No, times 1,000.
Fuck
it's like the Hallmark Channel.
But hold on. One thing I will say about Oprah, and as much as I don't like her, she was correct and ahead of her time when she was doing that campaign to get rid of the N-word. And everybody lost their minds. No, we're not saying that. She's absolutely correct on that. We should have got rid of the N-word, even in our vocabulary.
Man, I'm trying to think about all the rap songs I know, and you don't say that. It don't hit the same. It'd be like that scene in White Chicks when they were talking about like, well, I mean, it's in the song. We gotta say it. I'm like, it feels weird when it don't come out.
I agreed. Isn't BET owned by Tyler Perry? Unless he bought it.
Fuck Tyler Perry. No.
Unless he bought it, I don't know. I don't. But yeah, I agree with you too. Fuck Tyler Perry too. That's an Oprah clone. Nah, fuck that shit. Nah, I don't fuck with that guy either, man.
You don't go to him unless you ain't got nothing going on ever in life. It's like that's the one. I feel like all agents should tell their black actors and actresses, like, look here, you at the bottom.
If you're in a Tyler Perry movie, yes.
Tyler Perry calling you, your career is fucked. That's what it is.
What did you say, Roberto?
I said, man, his shows suck.
Facts. 100%.
It's the same stuff over and over.
Same stuff. Just bottom of the barrel, generic. Stereotypical, not even in a good way. It's just so bad. On top of that, it's like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, BET is owned by Paramount Global, who also owns CBS, MTV, VH1, and Nickelodeon.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Coming with the facts, JG. I like that.
And the fact that that's why they don't do nothing with it. They buried that channel. They bought that channel and they buried it. Then they said, "Wow, the hate is strong on this show."
I know that ain't good.
Oh yeah, for Tyler Perry, the hate is definitely going to be.
He does.
I mean, he ain't got no talent. I mean, he just don't. Like, to me, the only props I can give him is that he's a good businessman. But outside of that, he ain't got no damn talent. Fuck Tyler Perry.
Facts, 100%.
Something he did that was any good. I'm trying to think.
There might have.
Family That Praise. I was saying Family That Praise was a good one.
I know Danny likes that one too.
Flexing over your shoulder.
What's that?
It was just like a black cartoon figure flexing over your right shoulder. What was that?
Oh, That's
like, hey, am I fucking high? Nobody's saying anything. What the fuck?
I was gonna try to think of movies. I wasn't even paying attention.
I just went out and hit the split. I said, man, this shit ain't that good.
No, anytime someone subs, because I'm using my OBS, so anytime someone subs, you'll see that little picture and it says the name of the sub. Yeah. Danny said, you might see another one pop up. Danny said, I hate Medea, but he got a couple good movies out there. Family That Praise.
Was good, yeah.
Good Deeds.
Let me tell you this. None of his shit is good. At most, he has a couple of decent ones at most. And I feel like that's only because you have certain black actors where luckily you're right. Like, luckily we see that they're getting other work, but like a lot of them, you're like, well, we don't see them. Well, when you work with Tyler Perry, I mean, who's gonna show up to a movie studio like, hey, you got to see what I did last week. I was in that Tyler Perry movie. They're gonna send your ass right out the door.
I'm gonna give you a plot for a Tyler Perry movie, and you tell me which one I'm talking about, right? So it's a girl who's with an abusive boyfriend, right? She did. Thank you, Roberto.
One of those Medea movies. It's one of them. Every Medea movie, some woman getting abused, some type of way.
Facts. Every single one of them. Every single one of them.
He talks like he's the messiah too of black people. We're like, man, I'm doing something inventive. You've never seen anything like this. Wait till my next project. I'm like, I've already seen it a gazillion times. It's the same shit.
Facts.
And they are not relatable for me.
At all.
I don't understand. There may be some stuff in there, but for the most part, they're not relatable. What's the Why Did I Get Married? That movie was horrible. I hate
Facts.
Oh, I hate that movie.
Terrible.
Facts.
And they Rock in like, what the fuck the Rock gonna do?
Right.
I rock bottom, bitch. You ain't gonna rock bottom, bitch. I ain't trying to see what you want to do.
I don't even want to see his name as a producer. I don't want his name on nothing. Like, get him out of here.
I mean, Dwayne Johnson. I'm sorry. Dwayne Johnson. Sorry, Terrence. Go ahead, bro.
You cool, JD. I'll just, every time I hear his name, I'm just like, ugh.
Listen, I remember one time I was with this gal and she was like, oh, I want to go see this movie, blah, blah. So I'm like, all right, what movie? She's called For Colored Girls. And I said, is it a Tyler Perry movie? She's like, no, it's not. Because I said, because I don't watch his movies. I will never watch his movies. I don't like him. No, it's not. Got to the theater, and what name did I see pop up on that fucking screen? Oh my, I was fucking livid, bro. Not to mention, it was a fucking musical, and it was so garbage. I was like, what the fuck, bro? Nah. I can't do this guy, bro. I can't do his movies, man.
It took me a week to get through that movie because I couldn't.
Hey, JG, good thing you did because I was about to walk out that theater, man. 100% I want to walk out that theater. Yeah. Yeah, not for that movie. You ever seen it, Roberto?
No, I haven't. I'd seen one Tyler Perry movie, and at the end, I was just left saying, what the fuck just happened? I think it was a movie that you had the same reaction. You remember we talked about it on our show once. And I said, I will never watch another Tyler Perry movie again. It was actually a pretty good movie, and the ending was so fucked up.
There was.
Can't remember. And Nzo recommended it.
I did?
Not you didn't recommend it as a good movie. You recommended it, and you said, wait to the ending.
Do you remember what happened in it?
Is it the one with Tasha where she had the kid and the kid died and we find out that the kid was dead throughout the whole movie? Was it that one?
The hell is that?
Honestly, I can't remember, man.
So Tasha P. Henson, whatever. She's in one of his movies, right? And you see her with a kid in the beginning, and she takes her kid to school and everything, and then she's having a big argument.
The
Taraji, yeah. and then she
Right.
goes to a bank to
That's
get
it.
money
That's
out,
it.
and
That's
they
the
won't give
movie.
her the money from
I've
the
never
bank,
seen that one.
and then they hold the bank hostage. The police come and everything, and then we find out at the end of the movie that the kid died like a couple nights before everything happened. So that was
Well, come
ass,
every
bro.
movie he does gotta be
That's the
so.
movie.
Again, I'm not against it, but every movie he does is so female centered.
And trauma. It's always
Tra-
some
right.
kind of
He don't
And
know.
trauma.
He don't
who's
know how
causing the
to.
trauma? It's
He
always
don't
us.
know how. He
We're
don't know how
always
to
causing that
handle.
trauma.
He don't
Yes.
know how to handle black people, and he doesn't know how to write well either. It's not like
Yes.
he makes it seem like he's the second coming. Like, oh man, you ain't seen nothing like this. He acting like he John Singleton or somebody. I'm like, hell no, you're none of those individuals. You're
But you
none
know
of
what, Terrence? I think he knows his core audience is black females, so he's gonna write his stories cater to the black female.
It's
This is
called
true, but
it,
check this out though. There
it's
are
called
plenty
straw.
of black females that don't
Oh, yeah,
like
I never
this.
see that one. Yeah, I've noticed lately a lot more don't like it stuff.
You know what he
Yeah.
portrays to me? He portrays to me that black people ain't faithful.
Facts.
All of
Facts.
his movies, 6 couples, 5 of them are cheated.
Facts. Facts.
Always. And the one that's together, everyone feels sorry for them, and they never get
Facts.
married in the end. Like it's
Facts.
so tacky.
Facts. Because
Get
the
a little
one
more
the
creative.
because the one that no one's cheating on, they have some backstory problem where they're arguing about something like he can't get it up or
Why is
some
he hanging
crap
with the
like
guy
that.
who's cheating?
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like always some trash, bro. Always. Nah, screw that
Is
guy.
that
bro.
enough for you, Danny? Do we come with enough hate for you now?
Now I'm gonna show you guys this one more thing before we go, because this dude, I think he's like the mayor of Chicago. And I think he's on point, bro. I think he's
This
on
dude?
point. Yeah.
To offer, no, listen, Mark, I get to answer my question now. You've asked it.
Mark.
No, Mark, I've answered my questions. Of course they are, but you're not going to be able to avoid that if we don't do the things that actually work. We are not split on this issue. The fact of the matter is, no one has asked me to send federal troops into this city to make it safe. It has never come up. It never came up during the campaign. It's never come up in the first 2 years. The fact of the matter is, we are driving violence down on this city, and we're using every single resource that's available to us. Dr. King said this right here in Chicago, the National Conference on New Politics. What did he say? He said militarism is a sickness. I am trying to eradicate the sickness from this city and from this country. I'm going to work hard every single day to protect the people who are caught up in violence in this city. Guess why? You want to know why? Because the vast majority of them look like me. This president has never asked a very simple question to me, Brandon Scott, Barbara Lee, Randall Woodfin. He doesn't talk to black mayors about what it's like to live in communities that have been disinvested in. So no, we're not going to succumb to the sickness and the evil that Dr. King warned us about a generation ago. It didn't work in 1974 when 970 people were being killed. It didn't work in the 90s when no one said a mumbling word about how many people were losing their lives because of violence in this city. And now we're actually doing the work that's working. Now all of a sudden everybody has these ideas. This is a group project, but we're not going to allow the president of the United States of America or any of his ilk look at the work that we're doing across this country, and then now we're experiencing some level of reprieve, and now he wants to put his name on our paper. No, not going to tolerate it.
Here, here.
That was on point to me.
When we agree on something. Here, here.
Facts. That was on point to me. Any thoughts, Americans? JG?
Not a fan of him.
Oh,
really?
Not of what he said. What he said was on point. I agree, but I'm not a fan of him as a mayor.
What did he do?
Only based on what the citizens of Chicago, the black citizens of Chicago, have said about him. Right? I don't live in Chicago. I don't know him. That's not my whatever they got going on there. That's their thing. But when you listen to the town halls from the citizens and other people in the podcast, what they say about who live in these districts, he's not a people don't like him.
See, I haven't really heard much about him. I seen this video, and then there was another one too that I seen, and he was on point in that one too. So I was like, okay, it seems like he's on point.
He's good on the mic now. I give him that. He is really good on the mic.
So there are some humans that I know that live in Chicago, and they can't stand that human. And it just seems to be that when he's on the mic, he might say some things that I guess humans can agree with, you know, depending on what side you're on. But at the same time, once he gets off of the mic and he's moving through his day-to-day life, seems like a lot of humans are like, nah, fuck this dude. So I just, to me, like, my opinion is I don't know him, I don't follow him, I don't care about him. But that, like, you know, remember American History X, when
Mhm.
Edward Norton's character said there's a lot of hard fucking talk around here, but not a lot of follow through. I feel like that's him.
I got you.
Facts.
I got you. Danny said, have y'all followed the controversy between DL and Marcellus Wiley? Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
they
yeah,
been going.
yeah. They going back and forth at each other. Marcel's did another video on him. And before we go, did you guys see that Stephen A. Smith apologized to Jasmine Crockett?
No.
He's being
Huh?
canceled real hard.
Yeah, yes, he apologized. And you know what he said in his apology? Oh, well, I didn't know that the president of the United States was calling you low IQ and stuff like that. I'm like, you're a liar. That shit was all over the news, and you're in this business. You can't tell me you did not know that. Oh, yeah, he apologized to her.
What? So
100%. Hold on.
so is that, so this apology that Stephen A. Smith did, is this something that the majority of humans feel was absolutely necessary, or what are we talking about?
Everything in our collection represents.
People are kind of saying it's kind of too late. You know what I mean? Like, you said what you said, and then hold on. Let me try and get to his apology here.
People or conservatives. And so when somebody says to me, Stephen, rather than point to her and her verbiage and her language and how she talked about the president, what about how he talks? I have no problem with that. I can understand that. And if that is the reason that everybody is in an uproar, that is fine. And I have no problem apologizing to that to my sister because, damn it, I want her to know. I don't feel that way about her.
You do feel that way about her because he called her street and said she was bringing a street mentality to politics.
And then called her ghetto and stuff like that. And hold on.
Marvelous, the wonderful, the incomparable, the greatest first lady ever in Michelle Obama, in my estimation, or anybody else. But what we're going to do on this show is understand who the hell I am and how it's going to be as long as I'm doing this show. I have no problem apologizing if I'm wrong. I have no problem apologizing if I've made somebody feel a certain kind of way. But I'm going to challenge the legitimacy of what people come at me with when I think that challenge is warranted and deserved. If you came to me and you said to me that it came across as a bit dismissive, Stephen, you should have been more protective of her than that because look at how he speaks. Look at how they act on Capitol Hill towards her.
To that point, I do feel like.
So, yeah, so he goes on that. And yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so help me out here. Are a lot of humans a fan of this particular female, or what are we dealing with here?
Not really.
Not really. I say 50-50.
Okay.
Stephen A has sold his soul. I don't understand what he's doing. He's getting that money, Danny. That's what he's doing. He's getting that money. A long list of them, Brandon Tatum's and Candace Owens Coons. That's exactly what he's doing, right?
Wait, is this like one of those things where everybody's turning on Stephen A. Smith all of a sudden, or what?
That's why he apologized. Because people, at least black people, turned on his ass. Yeah, black people turned on his ass, and he's apologizing, but he's acting like he never knew that Donald Trump said the things that he said. I mean, I think we showed it on the show where he called her low IQ and all kinds of stuff like that, and ghetto and stuff like that. So we knew it. So you in this circle, you should have known it as well.
Oh shit! Yeah, I do remember that segment now. Okay, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, even I knew about that, and I don't even care about this shit. Okay, but to me, when it comes to having balls and having a spine, when you say something, then you should stand on it. To me, if you're gonna apologize, it should only be because you're legitimately sorry, not because everyone is turning against you. Because to me, while sure, you know, humans can say, well, this person did the right thing, I'm proud of them. That took a strong person to admit when they're wrong. But to me, I'm just like, well, does it really matter if it's not honest? Because to me, a real apology means that you came to the thought on your own conclusion, like, hey, you know what? I messed up. This is why I'm doing it. And you're doing it by your own metric, not by how many humans are upset and, oh no, I'm going to lose my fans, or, oh no, these people are turning on me. That sounds like you only did it just to save your job or to save your reputation or whatever it is. It feels very surface level. And I have issues with that when someone does it for that reason.
That's what most people are saying. That's the reason why he did it. You know what I mean? He said that about both my future wife's AOC on his plane. Yeah, he said it about her too. He's definitely grifting, and he knows what he's doing. One thing about Stephen A. Smith, he's not stupid, right? I'll
Hell
never say
no, he's
that.
not stupid.
He's not stupid. He knows what he's doing.
I've told humans before that he is way more intelligent than most humans that try to debate him. They don't have the articulation. They don't have the speed to keep up with them. But what they can do is maybe look at certain mistakes, if you want to call it that, and then try to use that to take them down, because that's their only method of approach. But to me, I feel like everyone is entitled to make some mistakes. But again, if you're going to apologize, I prefer it to be natural and legitimate versus let me just do this to save my job. Because I'll tell you what, I don't give a damn if all the humans in the world are against me. I'm not apologizing unless I actually feel like I owe somebody an apology.
Yeah, we know, Terrence. We know.
Yeah, I will take on the whole world. They're like, you better apologize. I'm like, I ain't doing shit because I don't actually feel sorry. Like, I have something called integrity, so I would never make those decisions. Like, you can't buy me out. You can't silence me. I'm going to come correct if I feel that that's what I need to do, not because you say so.
Facts. And he is a raccoon, but we're going to get to the final thoughts, Roberto, and then we're going to close it up. Go ahead, Roberto.
Sorry.
Final thoughts on this clown, Stephen A., and then we can close it up.
You know, I used to be a big fan of Stephen A. back in the day, as I said. And my falling out with him is when he got rid of that Kellerman guy. I never found the show was the same. And just the fact that, you know, I see all these brothers on the show and I feel like they just kiss ass. When behind screen, they're probably saying this little piece of, you know what I mean? Let's be honest. All of them NFL guys that play and he talks like he knows more than them.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Damn, y'all not messing with Stephen A. either no more, huh? Dang. Okay.
Nah, I can't. I
used to be a big fan, just like I was a big fan of Joe Rogan back in the day. But you know, you hang around someone long enough, you see their colors.
Damn, man, I hope you guys don't, you know, wake up one day and be like, you know what, man, fuck Terrence, and then I'm just like out in the phantom zone somewhere.
As long as you call us humans, Terrence, you cannot do any wrong.
Yeah, don't do no Stephen A. stuff, and you're good. But this is, I think, when last time we were talking, I told you guys, like, Stephen A. This is Stephen A. Like, he walks into the stadium like he's the one gonna suit up and play basketball. Watch him.
What is like
all my brags turn to facts, all my hundreds turn to racks.
Yep. Look at him. Yep, he walking with confidence. He like, yep, I know where I am.
Like, he walks in there like he's the man. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm Stephen A. Smith. Everybody's here to see me. I know he gives a shit about this guy, bro.
His little Nazi mustache.
JG, final thoughts?
I mean, look, we know Stephen A. is a coon. He's gonna say whatever he needs to say to get an audience, right? Politics, like I say, is a business and it's entertainment. So he saw that, okay, his views probably going down. People are going kind of clapping against him. Let me go ahead and throw this half-hearted apology out there, and then act stupid at the same time. You go on one podcast, whatever, talk about how you know all this, you know all that. You come here talking about some, well, I didn't know. Like you said, Nzo, that's BS. We knew he knew. We knew. So we know he knows. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is, man.
Yep. Guys, that was it. Great show. Thank you, everybody, for popping in. Much appreciated. Terrence, tell the people where they can find you one last time, sir.
Wait, what do you mean that's it? Like, what about the 10 hours?
10 hours in your dreams, homeboy.
Yeah, but I mean, we had a good time. We're all together. We got to cherish this. World War III could start tomorrow. Yeah.
We'll close up the stream, and you can stay in the back room for 10 hours while we all go to bed.
Damn. I see. Well, well, humans. I'm Terrence, and you can find me on World's Finest Team Up with my friend Sean Stackhouse. Cooking up a lot of stuff over there, with more to come. And a lot of times I just be moving so quickly that I think the Black Flash is gonna stop me one day. He's gonna see that I'm disrupting the multiverse and the Speed Force, and he's gonna try to slow down Terrence, but Terrence don't slow down. While humans sleep, I get to work.
And we're the weed smokers, Roberto.
Wait, wow, wait, what do you mean?
Roberto, tell the people where they can find you, sir.
You can find me right here Wednesday nights, 9 o'clock with my boys, them, Bigger Ford Entertainment, JG Shaolin, terrific. And sometimes we have very special guests as my man T-Virus Terrence here tonight, getting shit off our chest live like we do.
Yes, sir. And Mike, let me know, how did you like Sarah? Is it fun? Did you create anything? Let me know what you thought about it. JG, you know what to do, sir.
Yo, thank y'all for tuning in live for this Fire and Brimstone OOC. Catch us again next week when we have some more fire for you guys. But until then, I am JG Shaolin Terrific, the undefeated, undisputed final boss of the 36 Chambers of Shaolin. Wee! Shout out Jim Kelly, martial artist, film actor, black guy. Listen, man, I'm so tired, man.
Man, I switched over.
The host Nzo, aka the Abbott, and the Osiris of the the Spliff King, the Professor of Ganja, alongside his co-host Roberto, aka Mr. 100, aka No Trouble Did Anything Gonna Be Irie. No woman, no cry. And last but not least, thanks to our special guest, Terrence, the man with the iron fist himself, Jim Kelly's apprentice. Fuck with if you want to. He got them hands for you. Terrence, a.k.a. T-Virus.
Yes. And that is it. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Much appreciated. Eli, Dandelion, Geeky Guy. Paul was in the house. Danny was in the house. The Stranger was in the house. Hey, Stranger, you didn't go at JG tonight. I'm disappointed. I was expecting some more JG fun.
Brother Nzo, if I may, I just wanted to say, so I know how you said that 10 hours is too long. I feel like, something more reasonable. Like,
yeah. So Eli, thank you. If I missed anybody else, Mike was here. Sorry if I missed anybody else, but we are getting out of here tonight. Don't listen, Terrence. Ain't no 10-hour shit going on. No, it's not happening. Peace, love, and hair grease, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.